us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Kent. Okay. So we're having our second online class, and we have very limited meetings. So there was actually a motion from us if we can move the prelim exam, if we can reschedule the meeting exam on September 10. But we still have to wait for the approval. But then it is because that Mondays and Tuesdays are actually very much affected by suspension of classes or but at working on the original schedule, the prelims exam is scheduled on September 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so meaning that this will be our if the prelim exam will not be rescheduled, this will be our last meeting for the prelim. Okay, and I only have one quiz. I have just given you one quiz. With that, if the prelim exam will not be rescheduled, meaning that I will be still giving another quiz, other quizzes on after the prelim exam. But if the prelim exam will be rescheduled on September 10, then I'll be giving another quiz on September 8 and 9. Okay? So, are there questions regarding the schedule? So, ulitin ko po ha. The original schedule of the prelim exam is September 8, 9, and 10. So, if it will not be rescheduled, the quiz, the second and the third quiz, I'll just give it on September 15. That's another Monday, September 15 and September 16. But if it will be rescheduled on September 10 is a Wednesday to Friday, then we will still meet on September 8. So I can still give another quiz. Okay, so we're still waiting for the approval if it will be moved to September 10 or not. Okay, so with that, I received one query regarding the project. Supposedly the submission of the project should be September 2, tomorrow. Deadline, the submission of the project. Okay, so you can submit on September 8. So if it will not be moved, whether the exam will be rescheduled or not, the submission of the project will be on September 8. Okay, so you can, if the prelim exam will be pushed through on September 8, then you can just go to the case office to submit the project. But if the prelim exam will be moved or will be rescheduled on September 10, then I'll just collect the project on September 8 during our class hours. Okay? Regarding the submission, what will be the content according to the query? One, definitely, nandun po yung master data. Okay? Then followed by, after the master data, dapat nandoon yung tables. So, dapat may makita akong one-way classification table. Meron ako if you have a data which is based on ranks, then you can still present tables based on ranks. But if you don't have data based on ranks, then you don't have to present the data or use the table based on ranks. Okay? So, see to it that you present each variable in any of your tables. Okay? So, gustong sabihin, dapat makita ko yung lahat ng variables ninyo sa kahit saang table. Okay? And kahit saang graph. Okay? Pwede bang ulitin ang variable? Pwedeng ulitin ang variable. Pwede bang more than one ang one-way classification table? Pwede po. Okay? So pwedeng, let's say, dalawang one-way classification table, pwedeng tatlong cross-tabulation, pwedeng 4 na frequency distribution table, as long as all the variables should be presented in any of the tables and also in any of the graphs. Okay? So I know that we have not yet discussed graphs, but we will discuss graphs today. Okay? So, kumbaga kung ano yung ma-discuss natin, that will be included in your project. Okay? And then for each table, for each graph, you have to include at most 3 sentences. Okay? So at most, when I say at most, pwedeng 1 sentence lang, pwedeng 2 sentences, pwedeng 3 sentences. Okay? Hindi nyo kinakailangang mag-paragraph form lagi. If you can express it in 1 sentence, then do it. Hindi nyo kailangan ulit-ulitin ang mga interpretation. Okay. Are there questions regarding the project? Meron pa po bang questions, clarification regarding the content of the project? Meron pa po ba? Wala na? Can we proceed now with our discussion? Can I have some reactions, please? Okay, with that, ma'am. Okay, there's one question here. If printed, okay? If yes, ano ang size? Yes, you're going to submit a printed copy using a short bond paper. Okay, so short bond paper. So you don't have to place the bond paper in a folder. Pwede na yung clip, ano bang tawag nun? Yung hindi naman yung paper clip kasi hindi yun, it's not secured. Okay? So hindi nyo kinakailangan ilagay sa folder. Pero dapat it should be securely fastened. Okay. Magsasubmit pa rin po kayo ng soft copy. So I'll be giving the instruction for the soft copy later after you have already submitted the printed copy. Okay? Because I'll be checking the correctness of your work through the soft copy. Okay, so it will be both printed and soft copy. Okay, so print. Meron pa po bang question? Same din po ba sa graphs na hindi applicable yung graph? Hindi na po. Yes. Okay. You will only use graphs which are appropriate graphs. Okay? So, hindi po kinakailangang, kung hindi appropriate, wag pong pilitin na i-construct yung graph na yon kung hindi appropriate. Ano ang font? Kahit ano pong font. Okay? Wag naman masyadong malalaki ang font kasi kayo lang naman yung lugi niyan sa bond paper. Wag naman masyadong maliit. I usually use font size 11, Arial narrow. I usually use that. Pero nasa sa inyo po yan kung anong gusto nyong font size. Meron pa pong question na iba? Okay. Wala na po ba? Naintindihan na yung kung anong isasubmit na project? Again, may mag-pa-admit daw po. Okay, I'll wait lang po ha. Yung sa mag-a-admit, I'll take a picture first nung mga papasok pa lang. It's already 3:21. Okay, that's why I disabled the automatic submission, admission, I mean. So may time naman po dyan kung anong oras nagpa-admit. It's already 3:21.
Excuse me po, ma'am.
Yes po.
Kaya po ulit po nakadating kasi tagal po mag-end po ng last class ko yung mga nag-overtime po kasi. Kaya hindi po agad nakapasok.
Okay. So maybe you can can you please in the group chat ano yung previous class mo pwede po na lang
Sige po.
dito na lang sa group chat for those who
Sa Messenger po.
Opo, sa Messenger na lang po, sa group chat. Yung hindi mga naka-automatic sa admission. Kasi yung iba, automatic submission sila, hindi ko kinakailangang i-click yung admit and so on.
Okay po.
I closed that at 3:05. So, I already have 2 sets of admission. Okay?
Send ko po yung...
Ano mo na lang kung for those who came in late, kindly indicate anong oras kayo dinismiss. Okay? So just place it sa group chat natin. Okay? Clear naman po? Cedric, John Cedric, am I correct? Si John Cedric yung nag-react?
Yes po, ma'am. Yes po.
Okay. So with that, can we proceed? Okay
Yes
na po?
ma'am. Yes po.
Okay. So, let me share now the screen. Wala naman siguro okay. By the way, napadala ko na ba yung graphical presentation na sa group chat?
Not yet po.
Yung power present on graphical presentation. Okay? 3 slides lang po yun kasi may dapat kayong gawin. So I did not write everything on the PowerPoint presentation. Okay. So for the graphical presentation, we have you also have a copy of the PowerPoint, diba? Pinadala ko na sa group chat. Okay. So for the graphical presentations, we shall have pictographs, pie chart, bar graph. For bar graph, we shall have simple, clustered, and stacked. Then for line chart, we will have simple and multiple line graph. Then we will have frequency polygon, we have histogram, we have less than and greater than ogives, and then we have the scatter plot. Okay? So uulitin ko po, kung wala naman po kayong data na nababagay sa graph na any of that graph, then do not. Okay? That will be frequency polygon, histogram, then the ogives. Okay. Alessandro.
Yes po, ma'am. Okay po.
Thank you. So, so as I've said, we will start with frequency polygon, ogives, then the histogram. Okay. When can we construct frequency polygon, histogram, and ogives? Ito po munang tatlo ha. Pero yung ogives, dalawa yan. You have the less than ogive and then you have the ogive. Okay? You can construct the frequency polygon, histogram, and ogives of group frequency distribution table. Kung wala kayong group frequency distribution table, you cannot construct yet the frequency polygon, the histogram, and the frequency polygon. Okay? Frequency polygon, you're going to plot points sa frequency polygon. Okay? Sa plotting of points, what do you need when you plot points in your algebra class? Anyone? Di ba may Cartesian plane kayo? Sa Cartesian plane, kailangan nyo mag-plot ng points. Ano ang kinakailangan ninyo para makapag-plot kayo ng points? Yes, Romulus. Okay. Coordinates. Okay. You need the coordinates of the points. Okay. When we say coordinates, it will always be ordered pair, right? Agree? So you have the x coordinate and you have the y coordinate. The x coordinate is called the abscissa and the y coordinate is called your ordinate. Okay? So sa frequency polygon, ang abscissa will be the class mark and the ordinate will be your frequency. Okay? So, di ba meron kayong last time, meron tayong kinonstruct na group frequency distribution table. You should have a copy of the group frequency distribution table we constructed last time. It's on the raw score. Yes, the scores of the student in an examination. Meron pa po ba kayong notes doon? Can I see the, meron po? Okay. Please have a copy of the group frequency distribution table. Okay. So, isa lang ang meron. Okay. Next. I want you now, using the frequency distribution table, okay, I want you to determine the coordinates of the 8 points. Why 8? Okay, remember that we have 8 classes. So what are those 8 classes? 7 to 12, 13 to 18, 19 to 24, 25 to 30, 31 to 36, 37 to 42, 43 to 48, and 49 to 54. We have 8 classes. So if you have 8 classes, you will also plot 8 points. So if you will plot 8 points, you need the 8 coordinates. Okay, example. The first point that will be plotted, okay, that will correspond to the class 7, 12. 7 to 12. Okay. So ano yung coordinates? Kailangan natin ng class mark nitong class na to at saka yung frequency nito. Okay, so the first point, what's the class mark of 7 to 12? Ano po yung class mark ng 7 to 12?
9.5 po, ma'am.
Okay, good. 9.5. And a frequency of?
5 po.
5. Okay, and therefore the coordinates of the points now are 9.55. Hindi po pwedeng baliktarin. Okay? So if you're going to say it's 5, 9.5, that's wrong. Okay? Remember, it's ordered pair. Abscissa first before the ordinate. Okay. Nakuha po ba? So we have already the first point. The coordinates of the first point are 9.55. Name the other 7 coordinates. Do it now. So can I ask now for the coordinates of the fifth point that will be plotted on a frequency polygon? Bianca. Bianca? Miss Bianca?
Yes po, ma'am.
So can you give us the coordinates of the fifth point that will be plotted on the Cartesian in the frequency polygon?
Asan po? Ma'am? Kuya, wait. Ma'am, ano po yung question? Hello
Hindi
po.
ba clear ang hindi ba clear yung instruction ko? Yes?
Ano po yung question, ma'am?
I'm asking for the coordinates of the fifth point that will be plotted in a frequency polygon.
3 points?
The what?
Wait lang po.
Okay, Ken is raising his hands. Yes, Ken?
Good afternoon po, ma'am. May audible po ba?
Yes. Yes, you're audible.
So for the i-mention ko pa ba, ma'am, yung first coordinates or sa second na ako mag-start?
Just mention all the coordinates. I'm just
sige po.
actually for the fifth coordinate. But if you want to share all, then do
Sige
so.
po, all na lang po. For the
Okay.
first coordinate, ma'am, 9.5 and 5. Second coordinate is 15.5 and 8. Third coordinate is 21.5 and 4. Fourth coordinate is 27.5 and 10. Fifth coordinate is 33.5 and 10. Sixth coordinate is 39.5 and 9. Seventh coordinate is 45.5 and 3. And the eighth coordinate is 51.5 and 1.
Okay. So correct. They are all correct. Thank you, Ken. So you are now ready to plot the 8 points in the Cartesian plane. The first quadrant only. So before you plot pala, this is basic. Along the x-axis po, kindly have equal spacing and equal interval. So you can start, di ba? You have the origin. The origin is the intersection of the x-axis and the y-axis. Definitely, you're not going to start there. So start somewhere else along the x-axis. You can write there the first abscissa, and that is 9.5. Okay, so 9.5 followed by 15.5 and so on. So dapat equal spacing po siya. The same thing with the y-axis. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will use an interval of 1. Pwede namang, if you want 1, it's okay, but that will be, it will consume a lot of space. So kung 1, then you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you will start with 2, then it will be 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. You may have an interval of 5. So along the y-axis, if you're going to use 5 as an interval, it will be 5, 10, 15, and the 8 points on the Cartesian plane. kahit hindi ko po kayo nakikita kasi I will not require of course na you open the cam kasi para ang iba medyo mahina yung internet. Okay? So, however, I asked please kung ano yung ginagawa, kung ano yung pinapagawa, gawin niyo po ang pinapagawa. Because this will help you pass the prelim exam and the quizzes, of course. Okay? So please. Okay. Done na po ba? Done na plotting the 8 points? Can you please have a reaction kung done na po plotting the 8 points? Okay. So yung iba wala pa. Okay, thank you. Okay, so after you have plotted the 8 points, you can now connect 2 consecutive points by a segment. So meaning that the first point is 9.55. That will be connected to the second point, 15.58 by a segment. Okay, so then the second segment to the third segment, connect it also by a segment and so on until you reach the 7th point up to the 8th point. Okay. Kung tapos na pong ma-connect yung points, okay, can you call the figure a polygon? Matatawag na po bang polygon yung drino ninyo? Is the figure drawn be considered a polygon? Sige. What is a polygon? A polygon is a closed figure. Close na po ba ang figure? Yes or no? Close po ba? Nakasara ba? Okay, I see Diana thumbs down. So gusto sabihin, hindi po siya closed figure yung na-draw. Okay, so that is not yet a polygon. Okay, so you have to close the figure. Okay, the question here is, how are we going to close the figure? Okay, to close the figure, you have to connect the first coordinate, the first point with the x-axis, not exactly with the origin. Okay, you will also connect the last point with the x-axis. So, dalawang points po ang i-connect natin with the x-axis. The first point and the last point should be connected with the x-axis. Now, paano nyo i-connect? Okay? You're going to connect the first point with the x-axis by adding 1 class mark before the first class mark. So what's the first class mark? The first class mark that you have plotted along the x-axis is?
9.5 po, ma'am.
Okay, 9.5. Ngayon, magdadagdag kayo ng isang class mark bago mag 9.5. If you're going to add a class mark before 9.5, what is that class mark? Kung meron pang isang class mark bago mag 9.5, ano kaya yung class mark na yon? Anyone? Diba? Yung first class mark is 9.5. What's the next class mark? After 9.5, anong sunod na class mark?
15.5 po.
Okay, 15.5. After 15.5, you have 21.5, right? Yun yung mga class marks if you have the complete frequency distribution table. Okay. So, anong nahalata ninyo sa 9.5, sa 15.5, sa 21.5, and so on?
May 6 po, ma'am.
By 6.
Okay, mayroong interval na 6, right? May gap na 6. And therefore, if you will add one class mark before 9.5, what will that class mark be?
3.5.
Okay, 3.5. So, before 9.5, lagyan nyo po ng 3.5. Okay, along the x-axis, sa x-axis mismo. Okay? And then, connect now the first point with that. So, meaning na diagonal pa rin po siya. Okay, so the first point, which is 9.57, 9.55, that will be connected to 3.50 because the abscissa now is 0. Okay? That will be along the x-axis. Nakuha po ba? Nakuha?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. Yung mga hindi po nakakuha, you have to react. Sasabihin nyo, kailangan ko bang ulitin?
Pwede po
And so
paulit.
on. Ano po?
Pwede po magpaulit sa
Okay. Okay, sige. So, di ba yung first point is 9.55. Okay? So, along the x-axis, 9.5 yung pinakauna. Okay? Yun ang pinakauna along the x-axis. Ngayon, i-connect nyo yung first point with the x-axis. Okay? Para yung point na yun, doon mismo siya sa x-axis magpa-plot. Doon mismo kayo magpa-plot. So ano yung idadagdag nyong class mark? Okay? Since yung first class mark ninyo is 9.5, followed by 15.5, followed by 21.5. Diba? Saan yun? That's the class size. Yun ang kinompute nating class size last time. Okay? So using a class size of 6, we add another class mark before the first class mark, and that class mark will be 3.5. Okay? So along the x-axis, ang mangyayari na 3.5, 9.5, 15.5, 21.5. Okay? So the first point, 9.55, will now be connected with the x-axis with a class mark of 3.5. Nakuha na po, Kurt?
Opo, ma'am. Thank you po.
Okay. Do the same with the last point. So the last point, ano nga ang coordinates ng last point? 50.
51.5.
Okay, 51.51. Tama po ba? The coordinates of the last point, 51.51. Okay. Connect this point with the x-axis by adding another class mark. So if we will add one class mark after the last class mark, what will that class mark be? Chen. Chen, you're raising your hand.
May question lang po ako, ma'am.
Yes.
Yung ano po yung midpoint? Yung 27.5 po o 33.5?
Nasaan class mark ka na ba?
I think po sa 4th and 5th po.
Sa 4th and 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth class is what? 45. The fourth class mark is 25 to 30, right?
Yes po.
Okay. Ano ang class mark nito?
27.5 po.
Oh, 27.5. Is this the last class, Mark? Is this the last class, Mark? Hindi, pang-apat pa lang to.
No po.
Pang-apat pa lang to. Di ba hanggang 49 to 54 to? Complete ba yung ating classes? Our classes are 7 to 12, 13 to 18, 19 to 24, 25 to 30, 31 to 36, 37 to 42, 43 to 48, and 49 to 54. Okay, so that's why we have 8 classes, so 8 points then. So, ano yung last class mark? The last class mark, it's for the class 49 to 54. Anong class mark nito? Anong yung class mark? Chen, you're raising your hand.
51.5 po, ma'am.
51.5.
51.5 po.
Sure, 51.5. Okay, so 51.5. So kung mag-add tayo ng isang class mark after 51.5, what will that be? Daniela?
57.5.
Okay, you will add 57.5 after the last class mark. Okay, so ulitin natin, the last class mark is 51.5. Kaso, i-connect nyo po yung last point. Yung last point is 51.51. I-connect po natin sa x-axis. So, paano nyo i-connect with the x-axis? Lagyan po, dagdagan ng isang class mark after 51.5. Okay? So, doon nyo na po i-connect yun. Close na po ba ang figure? Have you formed now
Yes,
a closed figure? Okay, that's good. So, yung mga hindi pa po nakakapag-connect or nakakapag-form ng polygon, tingnan nyo, bakit hindi kayo nakakapag-form ng polygon? Bakit hindi pa closed yung figure? It's because wala pa kayong dinadagdag na first class marks before and after the first and the last points. Okay? So, okay na po ba?
Ma'am, ano po yung ordinate ng last point?
Ano ang coordinates? O ordinate lang?
Yung ordinate lang po.
1.
Yung
Diba
sa 57.5 po yan.
Saan po?
Yung sa 57.5 po.
Ay, wala. 0.
0 po. Okay po.
Opo.
Thank you.
Kasi di ba yung class natin is 49 to 54, 1. Okay? That's the last class. Kailangan lang natin magdagdag para ma-connect na natin siya with the x-axis. Pag kinonnect natin siya sa x-axis, ang ordinate niya is 0. Okay? The ordinates of the points along the x-axis is always 0. Okay na po ba?
Thank you po, ma'am.
Okay. So same thing with the first the class mark you have added before 9.5. Diba nag-add kayo ng 3.5? O anong kapartner ng 3.5? It will be 0. 3.50. Okay? That will be the point that you will add. Yun yung po yung ipapaklose niyo yung figure. Okay na po ba? Hello? Okay na po? Okay, good. Next, before we discuss histogram, let's discuss first the less than ogive. Okay. Sa less than ogive, ano yung magka-partner? Ano yung magka-partner sa less than ogive? Stephanie.
Upper class boundary and less than class boundary.
Ulit.
Upper class boundary and less than class boundary or lower.
Less than
class boundary.
Is it class boundary? Less than what? Janelle, Claire.
It's less than cumulative frequency.
Okay. So, yung magka-partner po sa less than ogive, it's the upper class boundary. Okay, the upper class boundary is the abscissa. What will be the ordinate? The ordinate is the less than cumulative frequency. Okay, so you also have 8 points that will be plotted because you have 8 classes. So the first point that will be plotted will be the upper class boundary of 7 to 12. That's the abscissa. And what's the upper class boundary of 7 to 12? Yes, Janelle? What's the upper class boundary of 7 to 12? Janelle?
12.5 po, ma'am.
12.5. Okay, what is the less than cumulative frequency?
5 po.
5. Okay, so the first point that will be plotted will be 12.5. 5. Okay. Second point that will be plotted. Daniela.
18.5 and 13.
Okay. 18.5, 13. Okay. Third point that will be plotted. Stephanie.
24.5 and 17 po.
Okay, 24.5, 17. Okay. Fourth point that will be plotted. Jezreel. Jezreel?
30.5 and 27.
And 30.5?
30.5, 27 po, ma'am.
Okay, 30.5.
27.
27. Good. Okay. Pang ilan na ba? Fifth. Ken.
36.5 and 37 po.
Okay. Pang ilan mo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rona May.
42.5 po and 46.
Okay. The second to the last, Leah Christine.
48.5 and 49.
Okay. And the last point that will be plot. Riz, where are you? Nawala ka. Riz? Riz, what's the last point? What's the last point?
54.5 and 50.
Okay. That's correct. So you have now 8 points. Okay? So connect also 2 consecutive points by a segment. So meaning the first point connected to the second point by a segment. Second point to the third point by a segment. Okay? So describe now what you have constructed. Yes, Ken, you're raising your hand.
Ay, sorry po ma'am. Hindi ko pa po nagagawa. Hindi ko lang po na-lower yung
Okay, sige. Riz, are you raising your hand? Riz, are you still raising your hand? Riz? Daniela, you're raising your hand?
Paakyat po yung line.
Okay, paakyat. Okay, paakyat yung line. Okay? So, by the way, the frequency polygon and the less than ogive, hindi po sila line chart, ha? It's an ogive. It's not a line chart. So, kung makikita niyo po, paakyat po yung points and therefore yung segment paakyat din po. Okay. The less than ogive is not a polygon and therefore you don't have to close the figure. However, the lowest point should be connected with the x-axis. Okay, alin ang lowest point? Yung pinakauna o yung pinaka-last? Alin ang
Pinakauna.
Okay, yung pinakauna, the first point that you have plotted, that's the lowest point. So meaning the lowest point is 12.55. Okay, you're going to connect this point with the x-axis. So how will you connect the lowest point with the x-axis? You have to add one lower class boundary before 12.5. So if you're going to add one class boundary before 12.5, what will that be? Rana May.
6.5 po.
Okay. So before 12.5, magdagdag po kayo ng 6.5. Doon po ninyo i-connect yung lowest point with the x-axis. So nakatapat siya sa 6.50. Nakuha po ba? Did you get it? Okay. Yung iba, wala
Ma'am po, pwede po pakiulit kasi wala po ang internet ko kanina.
Ano po?
Pakiulit po yung sinabi mo po kanina.
Which one? Alin one?
Hindi ko po naalala kung anong na-miss mo kasi hindi ko po narinig.
Yung tungkol sa less than odd jive?
Opo.
Okay. So sa less than odd jive, kung makikita nyo sa PowerPoint presentation ninyo, ang less than odd jive, ang coordinates ng points ng less than odd jive, it's the upper class boundary, yun yung abscissa, the x component, and the y component, it's the less than cumulative frequency. Okay, pinaisa-isa na natin yon kung ano yung mga coordinates ng points. Nag-start sa 12.5, 5, followed by 18.5, 13, followed by 24.5, 17, and so on. So the last point that will be plotted will be 54.5, 50. Okay? Again, the less than odd jive is not a polygon. So hindi nyo kinakailangan i-close ang figure. Okay? So however, the lowest point should be connected with the x-axis. Okay? The lowest point has the coordinates 12.55. Okay? Iko-connect nyo yun sa x-axis. Kung iko-connect nyo yun sa x-axis, magdadagdag kayo ng isang upper class boundary. So ang una nyong nilagay dyan na upper class boundary is 12.5. Magdagdag ng isa bago mag 12.5. And that is 6.5. Doon nyo po i-connect ang first point. Nakuha po ba? Diana?
May question lang po.
Yes po.
Yung kapag po ma'am, i-connect na po siya sa x-axis, alin na po ma'am ang first point? Yung kanina pong 12.5.
It's still the 12.55.
The same applies po ma'am to the frequency polygon?
Yes po. If we will plot points, what are the coordinates of the points? Anong coordinates ng points? Kurt?
Yung lower class boundary po and yung greater than cumulative frequency.
Okay. So the abscissa is the lower class boundary and the ordinate is the greater than the greater than cumulative frequency. Wala na bang iba? Regine.
6.5 po and 50, ma'am.
6.5
And 50 po.
Okay, 50. 6.5, 50. That's the first point that will be plotted. Second point that will be plotted. Jezreel? Jezreel? Are you raising your hand, Jezreel? Jezreel. Leah Christine, what's the second point that will be plotted?
12.5 po and 45.
Okay, 12.5, 45. Third point that will be plotted. Angelo.
18.5 and 37 po.
Okay, 18.5, 37. Fourth point that will be plotted. Rona May.
24.5 and 33 po.
Okay. The fifth point that will be plotted. Anton.
30.5 and 23 po.
Okay, good. Then the sixth point that will be plotted. Stephanie.
36.5 and 13 po.
Okay. The second to the last that will be plotted. Annie. Annie? Annie? Asuncion, you're raising your hand.
Yes po.
Okay.
42.5 and 4 po.
Okay. 42.5. Ulit tayo. 42.5
And 4 po.
and 4. Okay.
Yeah.
And the last point that will be plotted. Mary Eliza.
48.5 po and 1.
Okay. 48.5, 1. Okay. Ano ang, can you describe, you can now connect two consecutive points by a segment. So ano ngayon yung masasabi sa graph? Ano po ang masasabi sa graph? Ano po ang masasabi sa graph? Kairos? Romulus? Okay, wow, may trajectory tayo. Okay, downwards po ang yung mga points. Okay, so this time, you will connect the lowest point will be connected with the x-axis. Okay, the lowest point. But this time, the lowest point is not the first point. It is the last point. Okay, connect now the last point with the x-axis. So meaning that you will add another lower class boundary. Okay, the last lower class boundary is 48.5. So add, what will that be? Add another class boundary. So ano siya? Jezreel. Jezreel, are you there?
Pwede po ulit ng ano? Pwede po pa ulit ng tanong.
I thought you were raising your hand.
Pa po pala na mababa.
Okay. The last lower class boundary is 48.5. Ngayon, i-connect po kasi natin yung lowest point with the x-axis. So ano po yung idadagdag na lower class boundary?
6 po.
6? What 6?
Yung idadagdag po sa 48.5.
So what is now the lower class boundary that you're going to add?
4.5 po.
Okay, 54.5. Okay, so 54.50. Yun na po yung idadagdag niyong coordinate. Okay? Did you get it? Nakuha po ba? Okay, I hope that lahat po nakapag-plot ng points and nakapag-construct ng frequency polygon ng less than ogive at saka ng greater than ogive. Okay. Next, let's have now a histogram. Histogram. So, sa histogram po, you will not be plotting points. Okay? Instead of plotting points, this time you're now going to construct or build bins or bars. Okay? Di ba sa bar, meron kang left end, pero meron kang left end, meron ka ding right end. Okay, ulitin natin. Nadi-disturb kasi ako pag merong nagpapa-admit. Okay. Ulit tayo. Sa histogram, merong left end, merong right end. Okay? And the height of the histogram, the height of the bar, that will be your frequency. Okay. Ano ang left end ng bar? The left end of the bar will correspond to the lower class boundary, and the right end of the bar, that will correspond to the upper class boundary. Okay? And the height will correspond to the frequency. Okay, with that, will you give me the first bar, the first left end of the bar, and the first right end of the bar? Mag-bars na po tayo, ha? Bar. Yes, Kurt.
6.5.
Yes.
Yung left po, and sa right, 12.5.
Okay. So left end is 6.5, right end is 12.5 with a frequency of?
With a frequency po of 5.
Okay, that's correct. Okay. Pakidraw na po ng bar, the first bar. Okay. Let's have the second bar. Okay. Give me the left end and the right end with the corresponding frequency. Rona.
Left end po, 12.5, right end 18.5, and the frequency is 8 po.
Okay. So, kung na-construct na po yung dalawang, sige, gawan pa natin tatlo. Okay. Pangatlong bar, give me also the left end and the right end. Ken.
Am I audible po, ma'am?
Yes.
So for the left end po is is 18.5, and yung right end naman is 24.5. Well, the frequency is 4 po.
Okay, that's good. So may tatlong bars na kayo, ha? 8 bars din po ang ipapatayuin nyo dyan. There should also be 8 bars that should be constructed. Okay. So far, sa tatlong bars na kinonect ninyo or drino ninyo, anong masasabi sa tatlong bars na na-construct ninyo? Ken? Ken? You're raising your hand?
Ay, nalilimutan ko lang po, ma'am, in-over.
Okay. Sige. You will just describe to me the 3 bars that you have constructed. Ano pong masasabi sa tatlong bars? Janelle, Claire. Janelle, Claire? Yes? You're raising your hand.
Nag-i-increase yung bar.
Nag-i-increase yung bar. But the third bar has a frequency of 4? So, hindi siya nag-increase. Bumaba siya, di ba? 5, 8, at saka 4. Another answer? Diana?
Magkakadikit po, ma'am, yung bars.
Okay, that's correct. Magkakadikit yung bars. Kasi kung titingnan ninyo, yung yung right end ng 7 to 12, which is 12.5, siya yung left end ng 13 to 18. Tama ba? So magkakadikit yan kasi 'di ba yung lower class boundary, yung upper class boundary ng 7 to 12 is also the lower class boundary of 13 to 18. Kaya po siya magkakadikit. By the way, you will only write 6.5, 12.5, 18.5, 24.5, and so on only once. Okay? Hindi po twice yung isusulat yung 6.5, 12.5, 18.5. You will only write it once. Okay? Kaya siya magkakadikit. Continue constructing the 8 bars. Okay. Unlike the frequency polygon and the ogive, meron pa kayong mga idadagdag na information. In the histogram, wala na pong idadagdag na information. Yun lang po. After constructing the bars, you already have the histogram. You're just going to add the label along the x-axis and also the label along the y-axis plus the figure number and the title. So let's say figure number 3, then you write histogram, include that in the title, histogram on the scores of the students. Okay, along the x-axis, write also the variable. It's still the score of the students. The score this time are represented by the class boundaries, both the lower and the upper class boundaries. Okay? So, nako na po ba yung histogram? Dalawa lang. I hope that everybody have constructed already 4 graphs. Frequency polygon, less than ogive, greater than ogive, and histogram. Okay na po? Yes, Kurt? You're raising your
Ma'am,
hand.
ano po yung legend ng x-axis?
Ang x-axis, ang label, all pare-parehas yan. Yung sa frequency polygon, less than ogive, greater than ogive, and histogram. Ang label natin along the x-axis will be the variable. Okay, so ano yung variable na ginagamit natin? Score. Tama ba?
Okay po. Thank you po.
Okay, so the label along the x-axis is the score. Iba-iba lang yung representation. Example, sa frequency polygon, the variable is being represented by the class mark. Okay? In a less than ogive, the variable is being represented by the upper class boundary. Okay? In a greater than ogive, the variable is being represented by the lower class boundary. Okay? While in a histogram, the variable is represented by both the lower class boundary and the upper class boundary. Because you have now the ends of the bar. Is it clear? Have I answered your question, Kurt?
Yes po, ma'am. Very clear po. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you. So again, I'll emphasize for every graph, there should always be the figure number and the title. Include in the title what kind of graph you have drawn. Include in the title the variable. That's very important. Okay? Do not forget the label along the x-axis and the label along the y-axis. Okay? So, we're done with the 4 figures. The frequency polygon, the less than ogive, the greater than ogive, and the histogram. Okay? So, let's have first the simple bar graph. Let's go to bar graph. Okay? Kasi kakadiscuss pa lang natin ng histogram. histogram. Yung histogram po, you might say that the histogram is a bar graph. Okay? It's not. Okay? It's a histogram. Nagkataon lang na you are using bars to construct or to represent the data. Okay? Pag sinabi po kasi nating histogram, meron siyang spaces. Histogram. When you say simple bar graph, meron siyang spaces in between bars. Okay? Nakita nyo sa histogram, wala siyang spaces in between bars. Okay? And the histogram, you need the x-axis and the y-axis to construct the histogram. Okay? That's why hindi nyo pwedeng pahigain yung bar sa histogram. Hindi pwedeng ma-exchange yung x at saka yung y. While in a simple bar graph, pwedeng nakahiga ang histogram. Okay. The question here is, pwede bang mag-construct ng histogram using the group frequency distribution table? Pwede. The answer is you can construct a simple bar graph. Okay? But this time, ano ang gagamitin? Ang gagamitin po will be the classes itself. Example, 7 to 12. Yun mismo ang ilalagay ninyo sa horizontal line. Okay? 7 to 12 mismo. Then, you will also use 13 to 18. Okay? However, yung bars po, there should be space in between. Unlike the histogram, di ba, yung 12.5, common yon sa 7 to 12 and 13 to 18. Sa simple bar graph, wala po siyang common. Yung isa, 12, yung isa, 13. The same thing with 13 to 18 and 19 to 24. Yung isa, 18, yung sunod, 19. So you will use 7 to 12, 13 to 18, 19 to 24, and so on. Okay? So yun po yung, that's how you're going to construct the simple bar graph. Okay. At this point, ikakat ko muna yung discussion on graphical presentation. Anyway, what is very important here are the frequency polygon until histogram. Okay? So, kailangan ko na po kasing i-introduce ang SPSS. Is that okay with you? Kahit wala kayong SPSS muna, pwede bang makapag-start na ako ng SPSS ngayon? Ako lang muna yung magkakalikot ng SPSS. Tatandaan nyo lang kung ano ang itsura ng SPSS. Is that okay with you? Okay, good. So let me share my screen. Okay. Once you open an SPSS, ganito po ang itsura ng SPSS. Okay? So, meron kang columns, okay? Meron kang rows. So, when we discussed the master data, sinasabi natin na each row represent the responses. Okay? And each variable and each column represents the variable. Okay? So, ang una nating makikita in an SPSS is actually the editor window. Okay? The data editor window. Okay? So, this is now the data editor window. Okay? The data editor window, meron siyang dalawang tabs. the data view, ito yung data view, and the variable view. Ito yung variable view. Okay? So, ulitin ko po. Once you open an SPSS, ang una pong makikita na window, by the way, there are 5 windows po ang SPSS. But we will only use 2 windows. One is the data editor window and the other one is the output viewer window. Okay? So dito po muna tayo sa data editor window. Okay? So ulitin ko po, in the data editor window, nakikita niyo po ba yung mga pinipindot ko? Yes po? Okay. So, the default, once you open an SPSS, meron kang data view, meron kang variable view. Okay? So, eto po yung data view. Okay? So, eto, each row will correspond to the responses of each respondent, and the variable you have, each column will be your variable. Okay? Punta tayo sa variable view. Dito po sa variable view, dito po tayo magbibigay ng characteristics or descriptions ng mga variables ninyo. Okay. 1, you can name a variable. Example. Okay. So kung titingnan po natin, this no longer represent the responses of the respondents. Saan yun makikita? Dito po sa data view. Okay? Sa data view, makikita po dyan yung ang bawat row, responses po yan ng mga respondents. Sa variable view, ang bawat row, hindi na po yan yung responses. Instead, that will now be the characteristics that you are giving your variable. So what will that be? You can name, of course, your variables. Okay, example. One variable, let's say your variable is gender. So you can encode gender under name. This will be your first variable. Okay, so you can encode gender. Okay. Pag in-enter po natin yan, i-enter ko na po ha. Automatic yan. Lahat po siya merong lahat po yan lalabas. Okay? Automatic naman siya. Okay. Now, you can just change, ang mga gagamitin po natin dito will be type, sometimes the decimals, sometimes the label, sometimes the values, then measure. Ito po yung pinaka-importante. The type, and the measure. Okay? So, yes? Yes, Janina? Okay. So, nakita nyo nung in-enter ko siya, nagkaroon kaagad ng type and the other. Okay. Okay. Default po sa type, numeric. But as I've said, you can always change that. How can we change that? Okay. You can click the ellipses, this one. Okay. Pag clinic nyo po yan, lalabas yung iba't ibang variable type. So you have numeric. Ito lang naman yung gagamitin natin, numeric and string. Okay? Pag sinabi natin numeric, ang gagamitin nating mga data or ang i-input ninyong data will be numbers. Okay? Pag clinic nyo ang string, meaning na ang i-input nyong data will be letters. Okay? So that's the difference between numeric and string. Okay. So gender. Example, gusto nyo na ang ilalagay is M, male or female. So dapat i-change nyo siya sa string. Okay? So pwede siyang ma-change. That is kung ang mga i-encode din yung data will be male, female. Okay? Or M for male, F for female. Or A for male, B for female. Okay? However, kung gagamitin ninyo, let's say, 1 for male, 2 for female, ang gagamitin ninyo is numeric. Clear po ba? So para hindi tayo malito, since you know that gender is a qualitative variable, gamitan na lang po nating string. Gamitan na lang po natin ng string para po hindi tayo ma-confuse. Remember that gender is a qualitative variable. So mag-okay lang naman tayo. Okay? So, this time, meron pong measure. Dito muna tayo sa measure. Okay. I have already, kung linagay nyo po dito string, okay, dalawa lang ang lalabas sa kanya. Either nominal or ordinal. That is, if the type of variable that you have is string. Okay, it will either be nominal or ordinal. However, if your variable is numeric, okay, change ulit natin sa numeric, wait lang po. Meron pa bang gustong pumasok? Wala na. Okay. If we will change this one to numeric, tingnan po natin ha. Pag numeric, tingnan ninyo sa measure. Tingnan natin sa measure. Okay? Meron na siyang tatlo. Nominal, ordinal, and scale. When we discussed variables last time, sinabi natin na yung interval and ratio level of measurement, pagdating sa SPSS, that will only be scale. So mawawala yung interval or ratio, that will now be replaced by a scale level of measurement. Naintindihan po ba so far? Okay, ulit ako ha. Sige, magbibigay na lang ako ng panibagong example, age. Okay, so I have encoded age as my second variable name. Okay, age. Okay, pag in-enter ko siya, okay, automatic yan. Merong numeric and so on. Automatic siyang magkakaroon yan. Okay. Since you have here numeric, okay, pag tiningnan ninyo yung measure, okay, automatic siyang tatlo. Nominal, ordinal, and scale. Take note again that scale is the same as your interval and ratio. Combination na po siya. Okay? So example, sinabi kong program. Okay, example BS Accountancy. Okay? So hindi numeric ang program. Let's say gusto mong ilagay talaga accountancy, tourism, and so on. So you want to change that to string. Okay? So pag nag-string, kung titingnan po natin dito, dalawa na lang siya. Either nominal or ordinal. Okay? Since program is nominal, so hindi nyo na kinakailangan. Okay? Now, in giving the names, okay, tingnan po natin. Nakita nyo, gender, age, program. Pag tiningnan natin yung data view, automatic na nag-change dito, nasa variable view tayo kanina. Pag nag-data view tayo, pagdating po dito, nakalagay na dito yung gender, age, and program. As the title, as the name of your variable. So you have now created 3 variables. Okay? Gender, age, and program. So dito na po kayo mag-encode ng mga data ninyo. Okay. Take note, gender is numeric. Okay. Take note that gender, sinabi natin dito kanina sa variable view, numeric. So, pwede kayong mag-encode dito ng 1, ng 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and so on. Pwede bang mag-encode ng A? Hindi pwede. Bakit hindi pwedeng mag-encode ng A or ng B or ng F? It's because ang nilagay po ninyo dito is numeric. Okay? Numeric. So meaning na it should be, you should encode numbers. Pero hindi gustong sabihin ang 1 dito is isang gender, ang 2 dito is dalawang gender. Maybe ang 1 is male, ang 2 is female, and so on. Okay. Let's have the age. Numeric yan. So maglalagay ulit kayo ng number, example 12. Okay? Let's say 25. By default, may 2 decimal places siya. Okay? Kung gusto nyong gawin na walang decimal point, okay, pupunta lang po kayo sa decimal. Okay? So, ibababa nyo lang, lalagyan nyo dito ng 0. Okay? Pag nailagay nyo yung 0, so titingnan po natin dito na wala yung decimal points. Okay? Pag gusto nyong 1 decimal point, punta lang po kayo dito, lalagyan nyo ng 1. Okay? So, tingnan nyo sa variable view nyo, sa data view nyo, 12.0, and so on. Okay? So, nasa sa inyo po yun kung gusto nyong may decimal places or not. So, if the data are all whole numbers, lagyan nyo na lang na 0 ang decimal. Okay. Next. Punta tayo sa program. Program is string. Okay, so kung string, you will now allowed to encode, let's say, accountancy or BSA. Okay, example, BS tourism. So on. Pwede bang mag-encode ng number? Example 1. Pwede. Okay, gustong sabihin, even if your variable here is a string, the type of variable is string, pwede kang mag-encode both ng letters and numbers. Bakit? Bakit dito mapili? Pag sinabing ang variable view is numeric, hindi pwedeng mag-encode ng letters. Okay. Titingnan po natin, if you will see, in the variable view, string nga siya. Okay? So, pwede kang mag-encode ng number kasi ang measure dito is nominal. Meaning na para may possibility that the number corresponds to a certain value. Let's say, pwede yung 1 is, let's say, BS Psych, and so on. So, pwede ka pa rin mag-encode ng number dito. Kasi meron niyang kahulugan. Pwede siyang legend lang siya. Okay? So let's go back to the variable view. So kung titingnan nyo yung mga names natin dito, lahat lang letters. Okay? Lahat lang isang word. Okay? Ang question, can we use numbers for the name of the variable? Okay. Try natin encoding 1, 2, 3. O sige, 1 lang. 1. Okay, pwede ba siya? Hindi siya pwede. Okay? Hindi po pwede na the name will have the first character na number. Okay, so ulitin ko. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. In-enter natin. Hindi po siya pwede. Okay? So, pwede bang combination ng number at saka letter? Okay. Example, A1. Pwede ba yan? Pwede. Okay? We can have a combination of one letter and a number. Pwede bang number muna bago ang letter? Example, 1A. Kanina A1. Ngayon 1A. Pwede ba ang 1A? Hindi po siya pwede. Okay? Meaning that pwede kang gumamit ng combination ng number and letter provided that the letter should come first. Okay? So example, BSA 3. Pwede yon. Okay? Pero kung ginawa mo 3BSA, hindi po siya pwede kasi nauna yung number. Okay? So that's how you name variables in the variable view. Okay. Pwede bang 2 words? Example, economic status. Okay? So may space kasi 2 words siya. Hindi po pwede. So yung space kasi, it's considered as an illegal character. So kung gusto nyo mag-appear yung economic status, so you have economic, you can use underscore. Economic underscore status. So meaning that underscore is accepted. Okay? So it's a special character. Underscore, that is one of the special characters na accepted siya. Okay? I-browse nyo na lang po kung lahat ba ng special characters are accepted. Okay, magbibigay na lang ako ng isa na special character. Example, boy and girl. So, and, itong symbol na to is a special character. Is it accepted? It's not. So, hindi po lahat ng special characters will be accepted. One of the special characters na accepted is the underscore. Okay? So, you just have to browse. Mag-trial and error na lang po kayo. The safest, of course, in giving the name of the variable is using letters. Okay? Naintindihan po ba? And I have a reactions please. We are just preparing the data view and the variable view. Okay, so nasa ang window tayo. Ang window po natin, we are using the data editor window. This is one of the windows of SPSS. Okay, sa data editor window, dalawang tabs siya. One is the data view and the other one is the variable view. And therefore, in the data view, dito po tayo nag-i-input ng variable. And kung may mali, dyan rin po tayo mag-i-edit ng data natin sa data view. Okay? Ano pang ginagawa sa data editor? Dito rin po tayo nagbibigay ng descriptions sa ating mga variables, such as giving a name to our variable, giving the type of variable, giving the measure, and saka na natin to i-discuss, yung values and the label. Okay? So, question so far about the data editor. I'll stop this sharing so that I'll give you one example. So this is one example ng sample file found in IBM SPSS statistics. By the way, we've been discussing data view and the variable view, pero hindi pa natin inaalam what is meant by SPSS. Okay? SPSS means Statistical Package for the Social Sciences. Okay? Statistical Package for the Social Sciences. Okay. Ngayon, dito on the upper left corner, makikita po natin kung anong file name if we are using SPSS. So meaning that we are using employee data.sav. Pag nakakakita kayo na may extension name na .sav, meaning that the file is SPSS or naggagamit ng software na SPSS. .sav. Okay? So kung titingnan po natin dito, this is the data view. Okay? So eto si respondent 1. Okay? Eto yung mga kasagutan ni respondent 1. Eto si respondent 2. Ito yung mga kasagutan ni respondent 2. So as you can see, you are having here the master data. Okay? You have here the variables. Okay? So saan makikita yung characteristics niyan? Ano kayang gustong sabihin ng B-date, ng EDUC na yan, and so on. So kung titingnan po natin, we have the variable view here. So the first variable, ang name niya is ID. Okay? Sinabi it's numeric. Okay? It's about employee code. Okay? Sinabi scale of measurement daw. Paminsan ng SPSS, hindi naman tama ang measure niya. Okay? Remember that ID is supposedly a nominal level of measurement. So we can just change this one. Okay? Again, gender, which is the second variable here. Okay, so ginamit is string. Okay, you have here what? Male, female, and so on. Okay, so you have another one. You have the job category, meaning na you have here the employment category. Ang values niya would mean na okay, an answer of 1 would mean clerical, an answer of 2 meaning custodial, an answer of 3 meaning manager. Okay, and so on. 0 mean hindi sumagot. Okay? So this is now an example of a master data. This is the master data. Okay? And this is a sample coming from SPSS. Okay? Sa Excel, wala kayong variable view. Hindi nyo ito magagawa sa Excel. Ito lang po ang magagawa ninyo sa Excel. Okay? You just enter your data. You just input your data. Okay? Questions so far? Wala po? Wala na po? Okay. May ipapakita ulit akong panibagong window. Ulitin ko. There are 5 windows ng SPSS, but we will only discuss or use 2 windows. Okay? Ano yung dalawang windows na yon? One, this is the data editor window. and the data editor window is composed of two tabs, the data view and the variable view. Okay, the data view and the variable view. Okay. Ngayon, gusto kong ipakita ang another window. Okay? Yung isang window ng SPSS is the output viewer in window. Okay? Yung output viewer window, once na meron kayong inutos sa SPSS, okay, meron kayong gustong ipagawa sa SPSS. Example, gusto nyo makita yung mean, median, and mode. Okay? Lalabas siya doon sa output viewer window. So, i-execute ng SPSS doon sa output viewer window. Example, gusto nyo makita yung one-way classification table. Example lang, you want to have the one-way classification table. Okay. So, tuturuan ko naman kayo nito one at a time. Gusto ko lang ipakita yung output viewer in the window. So, example, gusto nyong ipalagay yung gender, gusto nyong ipalagay yung categories, gusto nyong ipalagay yung minority classification. Pwede yan, sabay-sabay. Okay? So, you can have okay. Okay. So, lumipat tayo. Kung titingnan natin, kanina nandito tayo. Ito yung master data. Ito yung data. Ito yung data editor window. Okay? So, wala na tayo sa data editor window once na meron kayong pinagawa sa SPSS. Lilipat po kayo sa output viewer window. Ito po. Ano yung pinagawa natin? Ano yung inutos ninyo sa SPSS? Inutos ninyo na magkaroon ng frequency ng gender. Okay? Gusto nyo magkaroon ng frequency ng employment category. Gusto nyo magkaroon ng table on minority classification. Okay? So with that, para hindi kayo magtali one by one, so kaya tayo nagkaroon nito. So meaning that out of the 474 respondents, merong 216 na female and merong 258 na males. Okay? Same thing with employment category. Out of the 474 respondents, 363 are clerical, 27 are custodial, and 84 are managers, and so on. Okay? So this one is an example of a one-way classification table. This is another example of a one-way classification table. This is another example of a one-way classification table. Kung titingnan natin, tatlong tables ang produce. Okay? One variable at a time. Okay? Pwede naman tayong tumingin ng ilan kaya sa female ang clerical? Ilan kaya sa female ang managers? In that case, kailangan nating magpa-output ulit, let's say, ng cross-tabulation. Okay? So, pupunta pa rin po kayo sa output window. So, example, you want the gender sa rows. And employment category sa columns. So still, you are nasa output pa rin tayo. Output viewer. Okay? So dito nakikita na you have now a cross tabulation. It's because you are now using two variables in one table. You are using gender and at the same time employment category. So meaning that you looking at the table, you will now see how many female are clerical, are custodial, are manager. Okay? How many males are clerical, custodial, and manager? So this is now the output editor window. Okay? Ito yung output viewer window. Makikita po natin dito kung ano yung pinagawa natin sa SPSS. Kung anong pigsugo nindo sa SPSS. Ano ang inutos ninyo sa SPSS. Okay? So I have now what? I have introduced SPSS. So later, as we proceed, malalaman ninyo what ano yung mga menus na gagamitin natin. Okay? So meron tayong, let's say, meron tayong the usual, ang pinakagamit na gamit ditong menu will be the analyze. Okay? Kasi sa analyze, nandyan po lahat. Example, gusto nating makita yung t-test and z-test. Nandyan naman po siya. Meron siyang one sample t-test, independent sample t-test, and so on. Don't worry, hindi natin madidiscuss to kung hindi po natin muna i-discuss yung ating, let's say, what should be the requirement of the data for us to use the t-test. Ano dapat yung requirement para magamit natin yung ANOVA and so on. Okay? So, nandyan din yung correlate. So, example, kung by variate, meron pa tayong iba't ibang test for that. Okay? So, ang dami ang pwede ninyong ipagawa sa SPSS. Okay? So, for now, I have just introduced SPSS para po, kumbaga, hindi tayo magtatali manually. Okay? So, the SPSS definitely is more powerful than Excel. But Excel produces a better graph. Mas maganda ang graph sa Excel. That's why your project for the prelim, it's Excel ang output because Excel will have a better output than SPSS for graphs. Okay? So, meron po bang questions? I'll stop sharing first, okay? So far, overwhelming bang SPSS? Sorry, I have to introduce SPSS ngayon, even with that we are not in the laboratory. Kung dapat noon ko pa na-introduce yung SPSS, pero inuna ko syempre yung theories before I can go to the laboratory. So, may I know kung sino po ang pwedeng makapagpa-download ng SPSS? Definitely, paano ba? Paano ko ba sasabihin? Yung SPSS po kasi medyo mahal. Okay? So, hindi ko naman kayo sasabihan na bumili kayo ng SPSS. But of course, pwede kayong magkaroon yan by using free trial. Okay? The SPSS, isa pong salang ng SPSS or isang copy ng SPSS. In the past, it cost 50,000 for one copy of SPSS. And once you have installed the SPSS, it can no longer be reinstalled in other computers. So once lang talaga siya. Okay? But you can have the free trial or crack kung gusto niyo magkaroon ng copy ng SPSS. Okay? So I think I'll end the class at 5 at this time. Marami na po tayong na-discuss. Meron po bang any reactions? Naintindihan naman yung SPSS, just an overview of the SPSS. It will help you a lot if you know SPSS. Hindi nyo kailangan magmano-mano. Okay, thank you. So with that, kanina pa ako kasi nagsasalita, medyo dry ng aking lalamunan. Okay, can we call it a day now? Is it okay with you that we'll end the class at 5:02? Okay, thank you. Okay, so with that, yes, Avril, do you have questions?
Hindi naman po siya, ma'am. Ano po, yung tatanong ko lang po sana if ano po ang pwedeng graph pag nag-cross tabs po.
Okay. Pag may cross tabs, the possible graphs will be stacked or clustered bar graph. Okay, the simple bar graph, that's only for one-way classification table.
Okay po, ma'am. Tapos po, ma'am, sorry po. So, mali po, ma'am. Clear ko po. May quiz po tayo. Kasi po, ma'am, may class po kasi kami. Yung sim po kay Mr. Arjona na 1:30 to 3 p.m. sa Peñaranda campus pa po. Okay lang po kaya na malate kami.
Okay. Ganito yun, ha? On September 8, discuss ko na to kanina, yung September 8, that's the original schedule. Kumbaga, per schedule, that's the schedule of the prelim exam already, September 8, 9, and 10. Okay? So, kung hindi mamove, kung September 8, 9, and 10, we will not see each other on September 8 as a schedule. Magkakaroon ng panibagong schedule tayo for the prelim exam. Yun ang hindi ko alam kung kailan, kung ano yung binigay na schedule sa akin ng CBMA for AE9, kung September 8, 9, or 10. Okay? So, pero may request kasi kami na kung pwedeng ma-move yung prelim exam to September 10, 11, and 12. Para yung Monday and Tuesday classes na greatly affected siya because of holidays and may mga activities during the first week nga. Nandoon yung mga orientation. So, nakain ka agad yung first week of classes ng orientation. So, ang greatly affected are the Monday and Tuesday classes, okay, as compared to the Wednesday and Thursday class. So, we are requesting if we can move the prelim exam to September 10, 11, and 12. However, that should still be approved. So, for approval pa yon. Okay? So, ang mangyayari, kung hindi babaguhin yung schedule ng prelim exam, September 8, 9, and 10 pa din, ihintay na lang natin kung ano yung schedule ng ibibigay sa atin ng CBMA. Okay? I'll be giving you updates through the group chat. Okay? I'll be coordinating also with Ma'am Yanson kung when yung schedule ng prelim exam. That is kung September 8, 9, and 10. Kung hindi naman, kung ma-approve yung pag-move ng prelim exam to September 10, 11, and 12, magkakaroon tayo ng quiz on September 8. Okay? Ngayon, ang dami-dami nyo. Maybe, sige, magbibigay ako ng instruction kasi the second quiz it will only take about 15 minutes maximum. So, maybe we can have the first batch and the second batch. Okay? I'll announce kung sino po yung first batch. But after that, so let's say about 3:40, sama-sama ulit. Okay? So, hatiin ko lang for the quiz. Okay? So, yung may mga class na until 3 o'clock, maybe doon na lang kayo sa second batch mag-take. Okay na po ba, Avril?
Opo, ma'am. Thank you po.
Okay. And also, approve na kasi yung pag-ahati ng classes. Hindi lang, wala pa sa aking binibigay kung sino ang mag-i-stay sa original schedule and sino yung lilipat doon sa kabila. It will be CBMA who will be doing that. The office who should be doing that. Yes, Daniela.
Ma'am, tanong ko lang po kung ano pong coverage ng prelims exam.
It will be from the very start, the overview of statistics. That's why I gave you already the PowerPoint presentation for the overview, for sampling, for variables and then for the graphical and tabular presentations. I have already sent five PowerPoint presentations. Am I correct? 5 na, di ba?
Yes po.
Okay. So, kung ano yung sinend kong PowerPoint presentations, yun din po yung coverage ng exam for the prelim.
Yung quiz po, ma'am, sa Monday.
Quiz form sa Monday, it can be a combination of variables and titingnan ko yung paghahati ha. Kung variables then followed by organization of data.
Sige po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Okay. What else? What else? Meron pa po bang ibang questions? Yes, Jezreel?
Lahat po ba, ma'am, nung nasa PPT na type of graphs, kinds of graphs, kailangan po makita sa project?
Yung line graph, by the way, sa line graph, you can only use the line graph, whether simple or multiple, if you want to show trend over a period of time. Okay? Hindi na ako masyadong nagdetalye nito because I believe sa GE4 na-discuss na ito. So it's just an application wherein you have the master data, then you have the tables, then you have the graphs. Okay? I'm also teaching GE4, so I know the coverage for the GE4. And one of them is the graphical presentation. Okay, so that's why I don't have to discuss in detail the other graphs, such as the line graph. So again, just the line graph, you can use the line graph if you want to show trend over a period of time. So since you want to show trend over a period of time, dapat may time element. Kung wala kayong time element, then you cannot use the line graph, whether simple or multiple line graph. Okay? So wag pilitin. Yun ang sinasabi kanina. Kung hindi naman bagay, hindi naman appropriate, wag pipilitin. The scatter plot. Hindi ko pa na-discuss yung scatter plot. Hindi rin na-discuss ang scatter plot sa GE4. We'll just go back to scatter plot pagdating natin ng regression. Okay? So for now, tanggalin muna yung scatter plot. All the rest, there should be presentation. Yung mga nakalagay doon sa graphical presentations. Yes, Ken?
Ma'am, ask ko lang po if what type po of exam yung prelims?
It's a combination. We are required to have at least 3 types of exam. So, pwedeng supply what is being asked, pwedeng problem solving, and pwedeng may multiple choice or identification. Okay, so hindi naman sinabi na there should only one type of exam. Hindi naman sinabi na lahat multiple choice. So it can be a combination.
Okay po, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Other questions? Wala na po. So you just have to study kung ano yung diniscuss ko, kung ano yung pinapagawa ko sa inyo dito sa online. Most likely, yun din ang lalabas ng mga questions pagdating ng quiz at pagdating ng prelim exam. Okay? Kaya nga, nagbibigay ako ng mga emphasis kung ano yung mga questions. Nagbibigay ako ng emphasis, it's because most likely, yun ang ating, ganun ang type of questions that I can ask. Okay? So, mahalata nyo naman yun kung paulit-ulit ako gusto sabihin malamang yun ang lalabas sa exam. Okay? What else? None? Wala na po. Wala na. Okay, thank you very much for your heart, Kurt, Janelle, and the rest. Okay, So let's call it a day. Can I ask someone to please lead the prayer? Who wants to lead the prayer? Anyone? Anyone? Or shall I call on someone to lead the prayer? Sige.
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Okay, sige, Ken.
In the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and will be forever. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for attending the online classes. Okay, so hopefully I'll see you still on Monday for face-to-face lecture, not yet prelim exam. Okay, so if you have questions, ang ano lang dito is I'll be responding in the group chat. I do not usually respond sa PM kasi your question might also be the question of other students. That's why I usually respond sa chat. Okay? So with that, let's call it a day. Bye, everyone. You can now leave the room. Bye.